Hello friends. After a stroke, hand functions are restricted most commonly because of tightness in the thumb. Because the thumb has moved into the plane of the palm and you find it difficult to pull it out. Today we are going to discuss some exercises that will help to make this movement easier and improve hand function. The most common reason because of which it is difficult to pull the thumb out of the palm is spasticity or hypertonicity. It does not mean that the muscles in the front of the thumb have become stronger and they have pulled the thumb in and the outer muscles have become weaker. Instead, these muscles are not allowing you to stretch. The resistance in the muscle has increased, and that is why even if you try to pull it out, it springs back. So we are going to make this movement easier by manipulating the wrist. Most of the muscles that reach the fingers in front or at the back, including the thumb, cross the wrist, which means that if I try to move my wrist back, my muscles are going to tighten further. But if I try to move my wrist forward, my fingers will relax and I'll be able to release objects with the hand. And we are going to use this movement today in order to practice thumb and finger movement. We are going to practice with thin diameter objects. So once we try to hold the object in the hand, we need to move the wrist forward and see how the object releases automatically. But this is the movement that we need to practice first. Rather than dropping the object, we are going to try to voluntarily release it. The next position that we are going to work over here is the forearm, because the forearm is usually rotated in such a way that the palm is facing down. So in this case, we'll keep the palm down, try to move the wrist forward, and then hold the object and try to release it as gently as possible. First closer to the surface, and then move as further away as possible. Before practicing the release activities, it is important to stretch the muscles. But stretch does not mean that we have to keep pulling the fingers out of the palm. Stretch means that we have to try to pull them out as much as possible. Hold them in the most lengthened position, at least for 30 seconds, and then gently let the muscles to go back. In this way, the stretch does not elicit. The muscle length is more sustained, and practicing after that helps us to release it more voluntarily. The same principle applies to the thumb. So we are going to first stretch the thumb as much as possible. First try to straighten the thumb and then move it out as much as you can. Where you feel there is a stretch coming or it's painful, let's hold it there for 30 seconds. Relax and then gently let go. After that, we can practice holding, for example, a pen between the thumb and the palm, moving the wrist forward and letting it go gently. The next movement is when the thumb has to go in opposition with the fingers, because this is the movement that we need. So in order to do that, we need to move the thumb over the fingers and then try to stretch it out. Again, first straightening the thumb, then trying to pull it out as much as possible. Stop where there is pain or you feel some resistance. Hold for 30 seconds and then gently let go. And now we are going to practice the release movement with the wrist down. The stretch and the release action are not enough because we need sensory stimulation in different parts of the hand, which the hand is not getting naturally. So we can use a sharp object, visually locating it that it does not cause harm to the skin, and then trying to stimulate different parts of the fingers and the arm. Try to stimulate all the fingers, including the thumb. Is that stimulation enough? Well, it's not, because the different joints of the hand need to understand their location, what position they are in, whether they are flexed or they are extended. So joint pressure is equally important. So for example, you straighten the thumb and then try to apply a pressure inward. And hold the pressure. Try to apply this pressure in as much stretched position as possible, because pressing the thumb like this is not going to help. The joint is not getting stimulated. So extend the joint, press. Extend the joint, press. Same goes for the fingers. Extend the joint you are going to apply the pressure to, and then press. There are three main principles that help in improving hand function. First, when you are practicing release of objects, keep increasing the diameter depending on how much release you can achieve. Second thing, keep increasing the wrist extension. So for example, you have started with the wrist completely flexed. Keep reducing the angle to as much as neutral as possible, because this is eventually the position you need for release. And thirdly, also work on your forearm simultaneously. So if you have started with this position, move on to sideways position, and this is your eventual goal, that you should be able to release the object with your palm up. I hope this video was informative in making you understand how much wrist and forearm play a part in hand function. So use it and see a difference and improvement in your hand functions. Also like the video, subscribe to the channel for more videos related to hand therapy and neurorehabilitation. Ring the bell icon for notifications. Add any queries or suggestions in the comments below, and we'll meet again soon. Bye.